Hey, Joey.
Mia,
Hi.
how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a while. It's good to hear from you.
I know.
All right. So I'm Googling your name because I know that I'm going to sit down and talk to you today. There's photos of you sitting next to Scarlett Johansson at Fashion Week. You've dated a few rock and rollers. You maybe even have married one. You're on the runway with Nicole Richie, with Tyson Beckford. You're a model, an actress, and author, and you're the daughter of an iconic man in American culture, Steven Tyler. Would you argue if I suggested that you were born into fame?
No, not at all. I always say that.
Do you consider your life like normal?
No, I mean, I get to experience things that probably most people don't, but at the same time, we are a typical Italian family from New England, so we do pretty normal things. So it's kind of 50-50.
Yeah. Are you loving Jersey Shore? You brought up the Italian thing, so I thought I'd touch it real quick.
You know what? I watched one episode, and that was it. I grew up in New York for a little bit, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I saw so many people like that, and I just kind of thought it was sad. So
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Talk to us about your world. In your world, you are a model. Talk to us about the art of modeling. What do you enjoy about the profession?
I did it for 10 years, and then I pretty much stopped. I do it every once in a while, just, here and there. But I think it's tougher than everyone thinks it is. There's a lot of standing around, and you can't sit, and you're wearing clothes that are too tight and shoes that don't fit. So it's definitely a harder job than most people think it is. And I'm such a tomboy, and to stand around with like makeup on and dresses and I really am such a tomboy. So I kind of got annoyed with that. But
Yeah.
it's fun. I mean, I don't really do it that much. I just actually started taking photographs. I got a camera, and I've been kind of turning the camera around and taking like artistic photos, and I'd like to eventually start taking photos for girls that want to be models and stuff. So I'm 31 now, so I decided to turn the camera around and do something on the other side of the lens.
So on either side of the lens, what do you do to prepare, like, mentally? Do you actually have to, like, prepare? Are you nervous in real life? Or because you come out and you work the hell out of the camera.
I think when you are in the entertainment industry, you have this switch that you have to turn on.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a certain personality and a certain way that you have to come across if you want people to take notice. And so, I don't know, I just have this little switch that I turn on. It's kind of like if you drink a lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those little, like, totally hyper. I mean, you do radio, so it's like you have to be on.
Yeah.
I literally just woke up a couple minutes ago because I've been just running around, and I had to sit here and take 10 minutes and just really kind of okay, I got to turn it on right now. I got to wake up and turn it on. So I think it's natural.
Thank you for putting yourself together for the next few minutes.
Of course, I felt bad that I couldn't talk to you yesterday. There's just so much going on. I was like, oh, I got to do it. So.
Oh, no big deal. I'm glad you're here with us today. So speaking of the modeling thing again, Graciela, she hit me up on the Facebook. She says, ask her how she feels about being classified as a plus-size model. She's insanely beautiful. I'm jealous you're talking to her.
It's funny because I started out modeling, and obviously I was larger. I was too big for regular modeling. And then I started plus-size modeling, and I was, I think, a 12 when I started. Mm. And a lot of women don't actually like to consider a 12 plus-size.
Yeah.
And so I started taking a lot of heat from both aspects, from skinny and then from, plus-size. And I really had to, in interviews, really prove the point that, look, I'm just representing somebody who's me-size, and I'm trying to be the voice of people to show them that being full-figured isn't a gross thing. It's a beautiful thing, and to embrace your curves. And so I really had to fight for that. But I still get a lot of people saying, you're not plus-size, but, unfortunately, in society in today's world, I mean, that's what's considered plus-size. So, all I can say is I represent somebody who's me-size, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love my curves, and I love, doing the things that I do and being able to be a voice of reason for people.
Yeah. There are a few people I want to touch base on, so let's begin. These names are going to sound familiar. Dave Buckner and Brian Hara.
Uh-huh.
You've dated a couple...
I just saw Brian last night. He played a show in L.A. He's got a new band, so we were just hanging out last night. He's one of my good friends.
Yeah, so these are ex-boyfriends. You've dated a few rock and rollers, and you keep a good relationship with them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try to. It's, it's hard no matter what. It takes time. all relationships do. But yeah, I mean, I try to be as friendly as I can. I'm getting older now, so it gets easier, I think.
Are you dating now? Are you single?
No, I have a boyfriend. He lives with me. He's actually out of town. He's a filmmaker. He was just showing one of his movies in Seattle, so I've been kind of lonely the last week waiting for him to come home.
Do you find it more difficult to date in Hollywood?
I guess so, because I think this is the first time in my life I'm dating somebody who's not a musician, and I'm finding that my world is like completely opening. I think I was just being really jaded before and just dating, guys that were in metal bands that had tattoos, and I was finding like a lot of duds, and I wasn't really finding what I wanted, and I accidentally met my boyfriend in like just a strange way, so it kind of works out that he doesn't do what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Which means he's not a jerk. He's actually a good guy, and he does something other than music, so I appreciate that. So it's neat, and it's also a learning experience.
All right. Very cool. Talk to us about Perez Hilton. Last year, he put up this picture of you, and I sent you a quick email. He said something like, here's Mia Tyler looking like a ... herself, ... plus-size model. And he meant to offend you. Obviously, he's a douchebag. And I don't know. I wrote to you, and I was like, well, like, what the fuck is this guy thinking? Like, because you're really stunningly beautiful, and your response, verbatim, one sentence that I remember, you told me, that's exactly what I am. And you said it kind of like you really you weren't hurt. Were your feelings hurt?
No, because, it was actually, the paparazzi in LA, they're a little crazy, and they actually don't usually bother me, which is a beautiful thing. I just don't think they care. And so I came out that night out of this restaurant, and there was a bunch of photographers taking pictures, and I was like, uh-oh, because, I'm all tattooed now, and
yeah.
I don't think I've ever shown off my tattoos in that form. I don't really go places where the paparazzi are anyway, so I was like, uh-oh, I hope this doesn't come out anywhere weird. And then I saw that picture, and I was actually really flattered because I know he gets so many hits on his website. But I was kind of like, wait, you're trying to make fun of me? But all he did was say, that's what I am. So yeah. I was like, and it was a great picture. So I was actually pretty excited about it.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Liv Tyler for a second. In case you've never heard of this music video, you've never seen it, she was in a music video called Crazy, right? Alongside Elisa Silverstone.
Oh, yeah.
So she was like 16 or 17 when this happened, right?
I think she was almost 18. Because I remember, I think there was a little bit of a scandal because she was being sexy in her dad's video.
Yeah.
Underage.
So this is your sister. Is this weird to watch your sister, like, working the stripper pole, like, wearing nearly nothing? I guess, like, maybe, like, critical reception, because I'm sure that was heavy then. Do you remember, like, living through that?
Yeah, I think I was, like, 15. So it was one of those times where, 15-year-old kids, you're kind of rebellious anyway. So I thought it was a neat thing, but at the same time, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What's happening? But yeah, I thought she looked beautiful in it, and it was a really funny video. And I think I just found this out, the guy that's at the end of the video, do you remember that?
The one that jumps in the pool with the shirt off.
That's the guy that's in the TV show Lost.
Really?
I found this out. Yeah, that's a little bit of trivia. That's the like hot guy from Lost with the blonde hair, and I only stopped watching after like the second season, so I don't know what his name is. I
couldn't figure out. I was looking at his face, and he reminded me a lot of Channing Tatum, but I'm like, nah, that's not him, and I couldn't figure it out. So Lost.
Yeah, he's one of the blonde guys on Lost. So I just found that out.
Cool. Okay, let's talk about your dad, Steven Tyler, the frontman of Aerosmith. Now, here's what's funny. I see pictures of you guys, and the way you're looking at each other is like, it's this crazy amount of love. I'm almost envious of the connection that I feel between you two. A few of the pictures kind of throw the word jokester at me. So I read somewhere your dad was singing on an intercom at Home Depot, and then I
heard about that too.
And then I read that he was at a karaoke place, and he went up to sing. Somebody was singing his song, and he went up to do it better.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that. I try to avoid all that stuff, so I never know.
What's funny is I thought it was hilarious. Like, I feel like that's something that your family would do, like just to get a laugh out of it.
We're really silly, and that's the thing. A lot of people take life just too seriously, and we like to have fun and just play games and be silly, and so I could totally see him. He sings all the time. We'll be out going somewhere, and he just starts singing. So being at Home Depot and grabbing the mic and doing that, I can totally see him doing that. I think it's amazing.